All right, welcome to the video here for our week. And here's what I wanted to do in this week. I wanted to continue to talk about time value of money, specifically net present value, but other ways it can be applied. So what I've got here is a situation that I wanted to go over with you. It also is your homework. So this kind of preps you for what to do in your homework, but it also shares a little more uses of time value of money, especially thinking about purchasing large pieces of equipment. You know, when you buy a piece of equipment, for example, let's say that in our example here, we are a equipment lease company. So we buy equipment, we bring it in, and we use it on our jobs. We're an equipment company. We construction company. We use equipment, and we use equipment on our jobs that we can either buy it and then we can put it to work, or we could actually just lease it and put it to work. So those kind of are our options. So what I've got here is a time value of money in Excel laid out for you, but you have to do the work. I haven't highlighted the areas in yellow, which you'll see in your homework, and those are the areas you need to complete. But what I wanted to do was go over kind of what this is about. So let's take a look at it together. All right, so we've got equipment purchase option 1. We're just going to buy this equipment for $100,000. And we've got our projected cash flows of where we're going to use this equipment and how much we think we can earn on it doing jobs. And so you've got repair cost across all of these scenarios that are the same. If you lease it, you've got to do maybe some of the common repairs. Sometimes in a lease, you don't have to make those repairs. You can just bring it back. That would be a really true lease. But a long-term lease on a piece of equipment is just kind of really another way to finance it. And so we're going to look at buying it, though, at first for $100,000. The price is $100,000. We're going to pay cash down of $100,000. So I set up the time value of money. Now, each of these cash flows that we've estimated, we can earn money on it. So in year 1, we think we can buy this piece of equipment and we can earn $12,500 in year 1, $12,500 in year 2, $15,000 in year 3, $20,000, $20,000, and then finally we start to have to do some more repairs on this equipment, and so it starts to kind of cost us money to run it. Then finally at the end of year 10, we resell it for $30,000, so we're still making $10,000 on it in year 10. All right, so that's kind of one option. And so the question is this a good decision? And so normal NPV IRR can tell us. Now the whole opportunity cost of our money, we've got at 12%. We could do other things with our money here, but we decided to buy this equipment and have it put to work. All right, the next choice is to buy this equipment, but of course to use some sort of a loan. So here's the loan information. We're going to put cash down of $20,000, meaning we're going to have to borrow $80,000. The loan rate's at 7%, and we're going to pay on it for 10 years to spread it out over kind of the use of the equipment. If you did it a shorter period of time, it could be attractive, but I did it at 10 here. So the question first right away is to figure out your loan payment. Remember, press equals and then PMT, and then you can start kind of filling out the examples there. All right, so that's kind of the first step for here. Then you've got this loan payment now that you have figured. So I've already got it figured out for you. You're paying $20,000 down now is what you're paying. And so, but you've got this loan payment to deal with in year 1, 2, 3, all the way out to 10. And so you've got a new net cash flow. You were going to bring in $12,500, but now you're going to make this loan payment. So you will bring in less now, but you had to pay less up front. So you hopefully would see how that might work out. Again, we've done this before a little bit, so you're going to come up with traditional NPV and IRR. Now I did put a loan amortization table down here. You can figure the payment, but it does make sense to do the loan amortization to make sure that is the right payment. And so you can do that table below. Again, a little bit of review. Now here's what's new. Another approach might be to just lease this equipment and not buy it at all. So if that's the case, how would that work? There's a couple of ways lease versus purchases are done. Sometimes they're done in the way that you will borrow money and you have expenses in that borrowing. What does that run you? Then the other is the lease. Well, what's that cost you? And then do present values of both those, and you're looking for sometimes which one's the lowest. In this case, what I did was I just factored in that we know our earnings, at least we think we do. So let's factor those earnings in, but let's pay a lease cost. Now here's the interesting part. You can run the numbers, but we got a $12,000 lease cost here. When you run this payment, to give you a tip, it'll be a little less than $12,000. So right away, it's like, why don't we just do the loan? Well, let's see how this works out with the lease. And so anyway, you've got your You've got your lease payments through here. The one thing you don't have is you don't have this big resale. You just have the $10,000 that you earn. So really the way to calculate this is you don't really have any money up front. That's one of the advantages of this. There's no money up front. There's not $20,000 in a loan. There's not $100,000 for sure. It's no money. It's just a contract to get this piece of equipment. And it costs you $12,000 a year to do that. So add that to your lease cost. Calculate the new net present value, or new cash flows, net cash flows, I should say, and then do the net present value. Same 12% opportunity cost the whole way. All right, when you have these three scenarios, the question is, which one of these is the best approach and why? And so that's kind of the homework for this week, and that's kind of a video to help you get started. Thanks.